Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Watch Our Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me today is my absolute favorite, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Well, hello. How are you?
Oh, my God. Wow. 'Twas the night before Christmas break, and all through the podcast, not a coffee was stirring, not even a... I'm not going to finish that.
Yeah, you're terrible at that.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was
a terrible Christmas songwriter.
It was a terrible Christmas poem parody. But really excited. It's late at night for us. It's even later for Ronnie because he's in a different part of the country. And we are going to be recapping Beverly Hills. We're doing it tonight because come tomorrow, Thursday, we are going on vacation. We have bumped up our recording schedules. That way we can eke out one extra day of vacation. But what this also means, though, is that we are going to have kind of an interesting Southern Charm recap this week. So Bravo released the first 6 minutes. So we are going to recap the first 6 minutes of Southern Charm, and that will be the Southern Charm recap, because let's be honest, there probably won't be that much after that anyway. And then we're also going to talk about Miami on that episode. So keep an ear out for that one. That's going to actually be fun. Maybe we could do a predictive, we could predict how the rest of the episode will go, but that's because we're going on vacation, guys. Sorry, we're going on vacation. But also the benefit is that we are going to do a late night Beverly Hills recap, and what a night to have a late night Beverly Hills recap, because the show was certifiably bonkers. I've had a very Bravo day so far today, Ronnie, by the way.
What'd you do?
Well, as we all know, my sewing journey continues to putter along. So this afternoon, I took myself to Mood, home of Project Runway fashions, or fabrics, I should say. So I felt very Bravo-y. I was walking in, I wanted to be like, thank you, Mood. But I was like, everyone probably does that. So I did that. And then this next story, I'm going to tell you right now, it has a bad payoff, but for me, it made me excited. But I know it's a story that probably I have to like tell it. Otherwise, I just have to get it out. But it's stupid, but it's Bravo related. So I was driving up La Brea Avenue, and there's a little I was stopped at a light, and I looked to my left, and there was a gallery there, like right by like 3rd Street or something. And I saw an interesting piece of art in there, and I was like, that art looks interesting. I would like to go back and see that art. So I like looked at what the gallery was. I took down the name, and in my mind, I was like, okay, remember this. It was called Long Story Short, which is ironic considering what's happening right now. And
considering our life. In general,
considering the next 3 hours of that
long story, extremely long. Okay, that's
long story. Long story long, as Michelle Collins would say, but this one has no payoff. But then I was like, I looked it up on my phone. I was like, what is this gallery? Long story short, and then I was looking, and it said artists at this gallery, artists that we were showing. So this person, this person, this person, and then all of a sudden, Victoria de Lesseps, and I was like, it's like the world of Bravo. It is everywhere. Everything comes back to Bravo. Countess Luann's daughter showed at this gallery on La Brea.
Wow. And you didn't know that? Are you sure? Are you sure you weren't having like a little stalky kind of moment?
I really didn't. I was just like...
say, I've known you for a long time now, and I've literally never heard or seen you say, I need to go back and check out that piece of art. I've never heard you. I don't.
That's what's so funny about it. Okay, so what's funny about it is, like, we need art in this house. Okay, we've been in here for like 3 years, and we don't have art. And I'm always like, I want to find the art organically. I want it to be something that like I feel da 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 da. But like, so then when I saw art I was like, that looks interesting. I mean, it's probably way too expensive anyway, but I saw it and I was like, that was interesting. I want to jot down. I want to feel sophisticated. I want to go to a gallery and pretend like I'm going to buy something, and then I'm just going to get something from IKEA instead. So the fact that I had this impulse to be like, Ben, remember this gallery? And then I looked up the gallery, and it was like, it was not Victoria de Lesseps's work, but it was connected to Countess Luann in some way. It felt like fate for me.
Oh, it's not her work? Because I was going to say, if there's organic artwork out there, it's probably hers. I feel like hers is like, it's my armpit hair framed. $9,000.
Probably.
I feel like that's some Victoria de Lesseps art.
I'm really glad that I have made everyone listen to this ridiculous story about an art gallery in Victoria de Lesseps.
I liked it. I liked you
diving
going to
into
Mood and going to the art.
Thank you.
Going
It's
to
artsy.
a gallery. I don't even know how to say it. The art. An art
You
place.
mean driving past a gallery on La Brea Avenue that was wedged between like a burger shack and, like some sort of wicker.
As art is, my friend. As art is. So that's where Shakespeare was discovered, between a burger shack and Victoria de
Avenue.
Lesseps framed poop, dog
Yeah.
poop on the wall.
Yeah, La Brea. England.
Okay, guys. Well, guess what? We know that there's going to be some problematic aspects to today's episode because it's titled Feisty Fiesta. And can it go right?
Feisty Fiesta, great work there. It's just so silly. It's such a silly, like, it just seems like Pat from someone. If you know what it felt like, whoever, like the post-production supervisor's mom came in and was like, her name's Pam. She's like, hey, why don't you name today's episode Feisty Fiesta? It's a little feisty. It's a fiesta. I think that's funny. Why don't you work with it? Like, you know what? We don't have anything else. Let's just take Pam's suggestion.
Feisty Fiesta. You know what else Pam is doing? Writing the music for this show. I think they were like, you know what, Pam?
God.
Listen, we have about $5 left of the budget. We've spent all of our budget trying to dry out Kyle Richards' hair and give her a Morgan Wade makeover or whatever. We have no money left. Please write us some music. She's like, I can do this. What do you want? Rich things? Okay. I'm rich. I'm a bitch. I'm in a car. The car is going far. Okay,
Clipping
Pam.
coupons.
It's like going far.
Clipping
I'm in the parking
coupons.
lot, still
Clipping
doing it.
coupons. Filling out my form to register for Target rewards. It's like, okay, Pam, you're a little bit off. You got to stay on message there.
Don't forget to pal pay me those HEB gift certificates you promised, okay? Going far.
Hey, I
In
got
my
a
car,
payment
in
on
my car.
Venus. No, it's called Venmo. Oh, sorry. Why do they call it Venmo?
Fucking Pam. Who let Pam in charge of the Trixie Monocle booth?
Wow,
over
it
at
was out of
Bravo?
control.
Get rid of them. This music is terrible.
And I also have to say, Ronnie, thank you for bringing to my attention and I'm sure many other people's attention, the show's problematic way of when they cut to a Garcelle scene, they put on their weird Beverly Hills version of rap. And, after you mentioned that, I had some people reached out to me and were like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you guys mentioned that on the show because I totally think the same thing. And I didn't even pick up on it. It was Ronnie who picked up on it. But now I couldn't, there was a scene where the music was like, I pull up gangsta on it or something like that. And it cuts to Garcelle. We'll get to that point. It's in the notes. I wrote it in the notes, but it's just like,
awkward.
it's so on the nose.
It is.
But
And I'm just laughing about it just because it's so, white cringe. We all
white
feel
cringe.
it. Yeah.
But this was a great white cringy episode. And in fact, by the way, right before I came down here, I went on Instagram and I saw Dorit posted on her Instagram a picture of her sweatshirt that said 90s supermodel. And she goes in my bubble and happy about it or something like that. Or happily in my bubble. I'm like, that's, the in the bubble thing is not considered a good thing, Dorit. You shouldn't be I know you want to try to own this moment, have ownership of it, turn it into a positive, but no, not this one. Not this one. I applaud you for your clunky ass way of getting out of the hot seat. I loved the way you just were shameless about that, but don't put yourself back in with this bubble caption.
Right. Look at my new sweatshirt. Problematic by Chanel.
But that being said, I really have to applaud this show. And the reason why is for years, I personally complained that with a problem on Beverly Hills, and I know many other people do, but I don't want to speak for other people, okay? But I felt like Beverly Hills, everyone would tiptoe around things. No one would really say things. And I have to say, this episode, they really were just they were kind of saying it. Even Erika, I was not on Erika's side.
Erika especially, actually. Erika,
yeah, but I appreciated that she just
white
fucking went
can't
there.
just say certain words to black ladies. That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
That's the big secret that we're all wondering. That is it, Dorit.
Yeah.
How many years do you have to hint at Dorit?
Yes. By the way, I was on the side of that part. When I said I was not on Erika's side, I was on the side for that part. I meant the OnlyFans. It was tacky as hell. It was so rude. But also, like, you know what? Like, I'm glad, like, it was not another episode of insinuations. She just said something really kind of rude and tacky, and now they'll deal with it. But, like, it's just, I thought it was oddly refreshing.
Well, this is the Erika I like. When Erika has so many walls up that she's annoying. But she's always faking or trying to be something else. But when she's just like, fuck you, slut, and your slut daughter too, I'm like, yes. Yeah. That's when I'm like, okay,
like you're being a villain.
That's kind of what we've always expected from Erika, and she doesn't give it and doesn't give it. And then they just find, like in the last year, they finally broke her down where she's like, I'm not explaining myself to you bitches. That was so good.
Exactly.
Or when she was like,
What do you mean the victims? I only care about me. The only one I give a fuck about is me. Fucking children, victims of fire. What the fuck do I care?
like whatever she did was so insane, and Brenna had to drag her away and be like, okay, that's enough. And like drag her back to the car in Aspen. That's what I've needed this whole time, you know?
Yeah.
So
I wasn't on her side, you know, because I thought it was really shitty that, like, for what she said, which obviously we'll get into. But I was appreciative that she just went there, like, not like morally, like I wouldn't want that in real life, but I was appreciative that she just was like, you know what, I'm on this show, I'm just gonna say it. You know what, you want to fuck with me, Denise, I'm gonna say it. And she was like, I'll go low, because what else do I have to lose? And it was so low, it was terrible, but I appreciated her as a reality star in that moment.
yes. Okay, well, let's get into this, shall we?
Here we go, starting with the one we can't take our eyes off of, Crystal in her backyard, and her daughter's on like a little balance beam working on a cartwheel, and she's doing a cartwheel, Zoe, and she's like, Mom, you know how to do a cartwheel on a beam? Because of course Crystal doesn't know how to do a cartwheel on a beam, so I like that her daughter's already trolling her. And then Crystal does it back to her. She's like, come on, I don't want silver, I want gold at all times. Like, good luck with those therapy bills.
Yeah, there is something about parents wanting their kids to just be the best at everything that I think is admirable. But I think as a parent, there's just that part of you that, I mean, I just put myself in those shoes. It's called empathy, guys. So get with it. I put myself in those shoes, and I just want to push that little girl off of the fucking beam. Like, fuck you.
I'm sorry.
What are you bragging about?
Concept?
I paid for you. I paid for you to
What's
learn
that
this.
concept you just came up with there right now, Ronnie? Empathy?
What? What's that mean? How do I do that? It's like I'd fucking do cartwheels before I could do that. Hey, little bitch doing cartwheels. You know what empathy means? I didn't think so. She doesn't know it either.
Would this fly on OnlyFans? Fans? Or flans?
OnlyFans. Now there is a side I can get behind. I'd be jerking off to that 24 hours a day, just showing me different pictures of flan. I'm a flan fan.
No, I've actually... Did you just growl? Yeah, there is a content creator. There's a guy who has a book out now. I'm forgetting his name, but he's like a young TikTok chef, and on his Instagram bio it says something about OnlyFans, and I don't know if it's real or not.
Shit's funny,
but I support it.
I
don't want anyone to think that we stole it.
Congrats, because you
anyone
know
to
I
think
do
we
make
stole
a pumpkin
jokes.
flan every year, and it's called flan. So, but it does work better with this saying for
Sorry.
OnlyFans.
I got a note from Pam, and she says, actually, I'm pretty sure it's called flan. So...
Flan, because I ran. I drive a van, and it's mini. No, Pam.
More
Pam.
budget, Pam. More budget.
No, but Melinda, I called up Melinda, and she said she loved it. So I think we should go with it.
Melinda, gonna send us some flan, while I can. $7 only flan.
Just remembered, Melinda just became lactose intolerant. Gosh, what are we going to do about Melinda? Am I right?
Oh
Can't sing
gosh,
with the
Melinda,
flan this year.
toots. Okay, so I was gonna go into a Melinda Tootin bit, but you know what? Let's just-
Cramp. Melinda cramps, like her gramps.
He was rich, date a bitch. Wait a minute. I'm just cursing too much. How'd we go from flan and cramps? Okay, so here we go. Push that kid off the balance beam. There's my parental advice to you. So now here we go with some terrible song like, she's got kids. She's got children. And it's Garcelle with her kids. And she's like, what are your plans for the summer? And I fast forwarded. And it turned out to only be a 2-second scene. I don't care. But I would like to thank the FF button on my remote control.
And then we have Erika doing a photo shoot for her residency in Vegas. And we just hear Mikey off in the distance somewhere. I'm not even joking. Like, you just hear him somewhere in a different part of the room going, oh my God, I love that. I can't, bitch. And it's Erika looking very sexy. And she has like a little mask on. And then some lady, probably her new manager, goes, Vegas ain't seen nothing like this in a long time. I'm like, Vegas literally sees this every single day. Like, literally every show in Vegas looks like this. No shade. I'm just saying, don't act like this is revolutionary. Like, there's literally people from, like, Quebec who are turning themselves into pretzels wearing this outfit, like, at whatever you call the Cirque du Soleil. I'm just like, don't gaslight me about this, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
No kidding. She's acting like the golden nugget just became a thing. Like, Vegas has seen this many, many times. Right? Many times. So Sutton at La Boheme. So I love that is La Boheme a tragedy? It is, right? Isn't that what Rent is based off of? La Boheme.
It's an opera. I was going to ask you if you ever went to this restaurant, because I've never been to it after all these years.
Of course not.
This is where, by the way, Peter and Raquel went on their date last season on Vanderpump Rules. So it's
I thought it was
place where love
fancy. I mean, it's
blossoms.
just like a tragedy. It just seems like such a fancy, rich person place to go.
I've never, because it's on Santa Monica Boulevard in this random part, like across from Barney's Beanery, and it was always like billed as like sort of a Liberace kind of place, but I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah, everything you said there is disturbing. God, Barney's Beanery, that closed, right?
I don't think so. I think it's alive and well.
Gross. Okay, so Sutton at La Boheme, and so the lady's like, do we have a reservation? Who's we? Just sit me down. Can I be alone? How about that? How about I just sit alone and you don't fucking shame me for it on Christmas? How about that, ma'am? Okay?
Exactly.
And are you inviting yourself to my table? Who's the we? Shut up and show me a table. How about that?
Get me a table and put it next to a very big white piano, please. That is where Sutton winds up. Next to a big white piano.
Exactly.
I was expecting Asher to show up and start crooning about like being a knight and saving Diana from a dragon.
Holy night.
Tis the season. This is Asher season. Most people think this is Mariah Carey season, but they're wrong. It's actually Asher season.
Hold on. I love this part. I came. Oh, I came.
Erika just taking over the baby ground at La Boheme on Christmas. Bring
Oh
it
God,
on,
Melinda
Erika.
loves that one. Melinda just loves Old Holy Night.
What?
But unfortunately,
Melinda
last
just ran to the
season,
bathroom.
yeah, that's when she found out about her intolerance during a Christmas concert, right at the high
Oh,
note.
yeah. Someone was singing "Oh Holy Night" and Linda just shouted herself for the first time. That was a holy night.
Yeah, someone was hitting a high note. Linda was hitting a low note. It was not a good harmony.
She was very holy, and by that I mean butt holy. Linda
It was a
didn't end
holy
well
night
for
for
Melinda.
her. And I'll tell you one thing, it wasn't a silent night either for Melinda.
We all know
said no.
because we saw what we saw everything in her stomach. I mean, the girl might have had. What are we talking about?
That's why I told Fred, no more flan before midnight mass.
He said, but flan rhymes with can. He said, no, flant. No, Fred, flant. We can't. We flant have flan. Okay. Yes, we flant.
I'm gonna put that in a song. So I'm so glad I
From
came and
Rent.
visited your office today, honey. All these tales I have to tell. So
Okay, so Sal comes. Wow. So Sutton goes, yeah, we do have a reservation. Thank you very much. His name is Sal. So I'm assuming you'll see it right there. Sal. Better Call Sal. Look at it. Look it up. Is it on there? Good.
Yeah. What's his last name? DeBan? Sal DeBan? Huh. Don't know if I like that. So Sutton is like, she's like, this is my first date since that idiotic twit Alexandra has visited my house. She set me up with this guy, Sal. And, first dates are always that, that butterfly moment, and who knows, like, he could be the one. He's tall, he's handsome, he's a gentleman, and surely he doesn't have an over-attachment to his mother. I mean, this date has promise.
And Sal comes in. Sal does not have promise. Okay, I don't know where they found Sal, but yikes. Sal's like, oh, good to meet you. Good to meet you. Oh, they give us our favorite table right in front of the baby grand. How you doing? How you doing, Sutton? What was this chair? This is crazy. Chairs are crazy, aren't they? My mama loves chairs.
So I didn't hate Sal at first. A lot of times on Real Housewives dates, the guys just sit there silently and it's like a dud. So he was at least like social, but I noticed right away he was not asking Sutton any questions except like, oh, so you're from Georgia? Huh? Well, I'm from New York. Well, that's the land of mothers. I was like, you got to ask her some questions.
He was very salesman-y to me. I went to Ashley Furniture. I shouldn't shit on Ashley. I mean, what did they do to me? But if anybody's ever been in there, they have some very aggressive salespeople. I'm like, can I just look around? You know what I mean? I said I'm just looking. I said, no, thank you. I'm just looking, and they just follow you around, and they do it like him. Like, oh my God, where are you from? You're a Georgia girl? Oh, whoa, Augusta, Georgia? That's crazy. I'm outside New York, and you know what? I bought into L.A. Big time, huge. I love LA. You know why? Because back east, there's humidity, there's heat, there's mosquitoes. Guess what I'm not into? Heat or mosquitoes. Guess what I do love? LA, bought into it. It's like, just shut the fuck up. It's like overly positive. You know that he kicks puppies. He just doesn't seem like a good person to me. He's too overly trying to shine the good person mask. I just don't believe it. I think he's satanic. I think he's a horrible satanic person.
He just was very spiely. He's done this on a million dates. I feel like, look, I've honestly made lots of, I've said this spiel myself at various cocktail parties because it comes up. People do the spiel in LA like, ugh, could you imagine going back to the East? It's hot and it's humid and it gets so wretched in the winters. I mean, come on. You do it. I'll put up with the traffic any day. It means if I got beautiful weather all year round. This is a spiel that everyone says all the time. So to do it on a date is just like, you think Sutton hasn't heard this before? Okay. So she's like, yeah. And you can tell immediately she's not interested in this guy because she's like sort of looking. She's sort of like doing that thing where she's looking just past her invisible soup bowl. She's like, look at that. There's a wrinkle on the tablecloth over there.
Yeah. Well, also because he says, oh, God, it's just so Horton. It's so hot. It's like horse and hot at the same time. I love a hot horse. Just kidding. He's the worst. He's literally the worst ever. No, he doesn't say that. He says, Georgia's so hot, and I sweat like a madman. I mean, people literally would say to me all the time, why are you so wet? Sutton's like, first of all, I don't think anyone's ever said that to me. Second of all, gross. That's disgusting. Someone's talking about sweat during a date. No.
Yeah, this guy needs to, I think that Alessandra needs to give him some tips. So then the waiter
Alessandra is one of these people. She loves sales.
That's
because
true.
Alessandra is a fucking salesperson.
She is a sal.
Sutton! Sutton! Okay, first date, day number 1. Sal, bachelor number 1, loves his mother, hates the heat, hates mosquitoes, loves getting stung. Oh, my Cupid! Oh, Sutton!
Literally the character in the musical that like steals the show for 3 scenes over the course of the night, right? Like this is like a musical theater like matchmaker, right? So then Sutton turns to the waiter and she goes, I'm drinking. And it goes, tss. I'm like, okay, whoever is in control of the machine is probably Pam. Don't tss her if she's on a date and she asks the waiter she's going to have a drink. That is not out of the ordinary. Okay, this is not evidence that she's an alcoholic because she's on a date and is on a terrible date and she turns to the waiter and says, I am going to drink tonight. That's a little overactive, if you ask me.
Oh, that's funny. So he's like, well, she goes, well, first of all, the waiter too. I guess the waiter, it's what is it called when you get what everybody has around you, like
Chlamydia.
a cold.
Okay.
When you have a cold, it's contagious. I think the salesman thing is contagious because the waiter's like, are we gonna order? Are we gonna order, guys? Are we gonna order? I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! Just why is everybody so excited today?
Who would have thought a waiter in a restaurant called La Boheme, which features a white piano in the center of its dining room, would be sort of overdramatic?
That's true, but he's not over dramatic in the fun, like dark and broody way. Like, are we hungry? Do we need an order? Of course we do. What the fuck do you want? You know, because that's what Rent was based off of, La Boheme. I'm saying it again until people start singing Rent songs to me. So yeah, I need something a little more dramatic. You know, I need some death at the end of this meal.
It would be great if the waiters at this place all recited the calorie count of their dishes in the style of Rent. 236.75 calories.
525,600 French fries. 500
You made me wheeze.
calories, oh dear.
Specials of the day.
Take me for what I am, and I'm not 1,000 calories.
Is that Tay Diggs, our waiter? So Sal has been in LA since 1990, and so have his stories. And then, but he's just sort of like, he's geeky right at this point. He's not geeky. He's like dorky right now, but he's not, in my mind, terrible. He says that he does environmentally friendly office supplies.
I'm sorry, what? What does that mean?
We've seen worse. Well, no, dorky does not necessarily mean terrible, but terrible is terrible. So here's where he starts to really, I think.
Well, here's where he starts. Environmentally friendly office supplies? Just hand me the fucking stapler and shut the fuck up. Isn't it bad enough I have to be environmentally friendly in literally every other thing? What, are you going to send me a fucking tree-hugging Xerox copier, Sal? Okay, Sal. Okay. Way to corner the market, okay? Guilt people. You know what people don't need? They don't need fucking guilt when they're working at the office, okay? It's hard enough without you fucking guilting me that I'm not, like, saving the earth enough.
Well,
Sal.
enjoy your not environmentally friendly office supplies during your next Texas snowstorm.
No shit, no kidding.
And I will during my next California hurricane / earthquake.
Oh no, don't you know? I'm a pescatarian and I drive a hybrid. So I'm really about the
I drive a plug-in hybrid, so my hybrid's like a little more hybridy than yours.
No, that's a little too much. That's like a little too try hard for me. I'm
My
just like,
car got
I'm not electric, but I'm also not gas. I'm like, I can go either way.
By the way, I will be releasing a statement later today after my car was shamed on the Real Housewives of Miami.
It was. It 100% was. I
And
wasn't
so
even going to bring
was-
it up. I said, do not mention this.
Don't
And so was your last car, wasn't
And
it?
so, well, technically, well, no. Well, my last car was a Subaru, but the one before that was a Toyota Camry. But the Corolla came close.
Right, you're right.
And my Subaru was named Martina. So it's all for reasons that you can all deduce why.
Well, she's being rightfully shamed, right? So, that
No,
car
well,
was
I wasn't even going to mention that part. I just was mentioning the Real Housewives of Miami.
a lot of
connection.
shame.
A lot of shame. I have a car. I like
car
having
shame.
cars that are shameful. But my car is not shameful, by the way. If Larsa Pippen shames my car, I'm like all for it. Although I think it was actually Adriana who shamed it. You know what? Fuck everyone.
Well, you know
So-
what? Here's the point. I would use an asbestos stapler. That's it. I would use
No,
a
that's
manila
not bad for the
envelope.
planet. That's bad for you. Asbestos is a natural thing.
I literally don't even care. That's how much I say I hate Sal. You're right. Asbestos is natural. Okay, let me think of something else. I would use cellophane. What are those plastic bags from Ralph's made out of that they outlawed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
cellophane's a
would-
good one.
I would-
Styrofoam. A styrofoam stapler.
I would Xerox everything on Mylar. Okay, just to say
You would
fuck
do
to
that
Sal.
anyway, even if you weren't taking a stance about something right now. Let's be honest. You'd be like, guys, here's the quarterly report. And they're like, Ronnie, are you decorating for the junior prom? Like, maybe.
Okay, so environmentally friendly office supplies. Okay, so what were you saying? Where did it start to go bad for Sal?
When he starts saying, well, I work from home so I can see my mom. You know, she's 88, and I like to spend as much time with her as I can since I'm not around. So you're like, okay. And then he goes, and you know, for my 50th, she said, how about we go to Vegas? So my mother got the hotel before I did. And then she goes to the concierge like, okay, where can I go? And she goes, son, you're going to be angry with me. They recommended a good old school variety show next door, but it's topless. And I'm like, we're supposed to be scandalized by the fact that he went to a topless review with his mom. I'm more scandalized by the fact that he had no one in his life but his mom to go to Vegas with on his 50th birthday.
I'm scandalized that they're sitting in front of a piano and his mom is 88. I mean, it just seems too planned because that's how many keys there are on the piano. You know that,
Is it
right?
Oh yeah, 88.
88s. Like, he's got like a whole shtick and it's just fucking weird. He's
It's
like, yeah, I
weird.
went to a titty place with my mom. And then, you know what? It was so crazy. I couldn't stop jingling the change in my pocket. It was crazy. You know what? Being with mama in that place, that's the first time a mother and son had to invoke what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Isn't that funny? Am I sweating right now? I am
Like you
sweating
are.
right now. Sutton's like,
You're not letting
"Oh
it stay in
my
Vegas,
God."
sir. You're not letting it stay in Vegas. Meanwhile, his mom's probably like Elaine Stritch, and we're like, oh my God, his mother was an icon. I take it all back. Could you imagine if it was Elaine Stritch's son?
No, well, I hope not because, well, this would make sense because he goes, yeah. So one time I bought this cool looking catfish, and then my mother, Elaine Stritch, took it out with a net, and then she just started shaking it and beating it, and I said, Mama, you just beat that catfish half to death. That is Elaine Stritch.
That
Like,
is
fuck
Elaine.
this catfish.
Is Billy
ranch.
Stritch Elaine's son? Do we know?
I don't think so. He did get hit in the head with a vodka bottle that Liza threw at him.
Are you sure
Okay.
it wasn't?
Oh, no,
I thought
that was David.
Guest.
You're right.
I think no, Billy Stritch got hit in the head with a catfish at some point.
He got hit in the head with Luann's. No, that wasn't Billy Stritch. What was that guy's name?
David
Luann's
Guest.
director, cabaret director.
Wasn't it? Oh well, that Ben something or other. But Billy Stritch was like the musical director, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, it was Billy
It was
Stritch.
Ben something. But Ben what's his face was the director of Luann's.
You're Ben What's His Face. Who's the
I am
director?
Ben
No.
what's his face, and I'm gonna go see Victoria's Gallery. It's a lot of art about catfishes.
I'm sweating right now, Mama. So, Sutton's like, there are too many mama stories for me to handle right now. So, this is a lot. It's a lot for me. And he's like, oh, my mama beat that catfish to death, almost like I beat my dick in that titty bar with my mama to death. Choked that chicken.
Hey, you ever see a musical review by Topless Catfish? Because that's what we saw.
My mom beating the topless catfish to death while I'm choking a chicken. I don't know why I made him Southern. I think
I don't
because we've
know.
got some JT coming up, and he's also obsessed with mommy.
Well, you know, the one person on Bravo who caught a catfish with her bare hands.
Luann.
Countess Luann Bell.
That's right. And you know someone who said, I got it! When they saw that on TV, probably was Billy Stritch.
And
There
me.
we go. On a circle.
There, she caught that with her hands, bitch. So it obviously does not last, and then they have to like stand up in these very heavy chairs that make like weird noises that offend southern sensibilities because it sounds vaguely like a fart. So it's like, oh, that sounds like Melinda on Christmas Eve, if you remember correctly.
And Sutton's like, Sal, I don't think Sal is the right man for me, but you know, oh God, I'm so sorry. Did you hear that?
Dong.
That was my
Yes.
texting. I'm so sorry, but Sal is not the right man for me, but I just want to say thank you, Alessandra. You're welcome, Sutton. Sutton, you're welcome. You did great. He's a winner. Ding dong, ding dong. Bells are ringing for Sutton. Sutton.
So now we get a really terrible Trixie song because it actually literally doesn't make sense. Okay, these are the lyrics. Running through the city, sitting real pretty, hair blowing in the wind with the top down. Okay, so you're running through the city, but then you're also sitting at the same time because you're sitting pretty. So you're running, but you're sitting, and then your hair is blowing in the wind with the top down, so you're also driving a car. Just try to make these lyrics work together. Are you running? Are you sitting? Are you driving your car? Technically, if you're driving your car, you could be sitting, but I don't think you're saying that you're sitting at that moment.
I wrote, I hate this song and I want it to die. That was my note on the song.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Wow. Okay, so in comes Anne Marie coming to Kyle's house. And the dog tries to bite her. Rome.
Okay, normally I would say this is a bad sign for Anne Marie, but also I think it's actually a statement more towards Kyle. And you are too rich to have your dogs be out of this out of control. I'm sorry. Last week I was like, is it me? Is it crazy that like after all these years she still has to tell her dogs to like chill out by the door? And I got some responses. People were like, no, Ben, you're not crazy. Those dogs should be trained by now. Those dogs are out of control.
Notice how quiet I'm being over here because guess whose dog has bitten before? And he doesn't run out the door, but he does not stop barking. So
Dogs
you know what?
bite.
I'm really in no place to judge. Does that mean I'm gonna not judge? No.
Dogs bite. I'm just saying, Kyle has too much money not to throw money at the issue. I'm sorry. She should be able to. She should be able to do something. Take him to doggy therapy or whatever. But also, Kyle's put out like 5 platters of charcuterie for Shabbat, which, by the way, I definitely saw meat and cheese there happening at the same time, which doesn't have to be kosher, but I just want to say.
So do you not eat meat and cheese on Shabbat?
Well, I
guess
mean,
not.
if you're kosher, you can have a non-kosher Shabbat.
Kosher is so hard.
But I just felt like going at Kyle for a second. Why not?
Is there like a pescatarian version of kosher where you're just like kind of kosher? Like I steam things occasionally.
Yeah, there is. There's people who are kosher in their house, but when they go out to dinner, out to the restaurant, they're not kosher, which I guess is sort of like a little bit of a half and half. Or maybe some people maybe are like they're okay mixing meat and milk, but they don't eat pork. So everyone has their own different versions of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'm Jewish now. I can do it.
All I have to say is it was a lot of charcuterie for 3 people. A lot of charcuterie.
So it's like, oh, look at that, a charcuterie. Well, I do not have an esophagus problem, but I do have the stomach of an adult woman. Oh, she's that much cool. I'm like, oh, God, we're going to just start with the esophagus jokes. You people are such dopes. Anybody who Googled this knows that Anne Marie made an ass out of herself. Everybody knows it. I mean, a total ass out of herself. And these people are just going to come on here making esophagus jokes.
And you can't, by the way, you can't make these jokes when there is when we have an expert on Bravo. Dr. Tiffany Moon released a video where she kind of was like, this is a real issue and like you can't like make fun of it. And she basically set the record straight about esophaguses and all that good stuff. So another feather in Dr. Tiffany Moon's cap about being.
I mean, just when you think 2023 can't get weirder, it's the esophageal debates to end to end the year. I mean, with everything going on in the world, Bravo fans are ending this year going, "Oh my God, why is Heather mad? Who is Heather yelling at in that scene? And what the fuck is up with people making fun of esophaguses?" Seriously, what is up with it?
We all of a sudden all became an expert on esophaguses. We're all into it.
We're all up in esophagus facts. I mean, I've Googled this esophageal structure, whatever it's called. I've read a lot about it. Stricture.
Elaine Stricture.
Sorry.
The
It's
Elaine
like a
Stricture.
semi-preppy store disease in the mall in the 80s.
Did somebody call me an esophagus?
Your throat has fake Roman columns inside of it. That's why you cancel.
Don't call me snuffleupagus. No, Emily Simpson, go back to your own show. We're talking about esophagus, not snuffleupagus.
Esophageal structure. Okay, stricture. So we are on
Elaine Stricture.
but I'm still talking about structure at the store of the mall in the 80s. Okay,
And I'm
let
talking
me
about,
have
I'm
my
trying
moments.
to make my Elaine Stricture pun. Said it 3 times. Acknowledge it.
That's good. That's good. I couldn't hear after the roar of my own laughter inside my head at myself.
Structure. We're killing it. Okay. So, by the way, I also have to acknowledge the way Dorit entered the scene was amazing. She walked through the door and she put her palms out and then she did like her head back and forth like she was in Remember the Time video. And she goes, "What's all the laughing about?" It's like, okay, sitcom entrance. Sorry to blow out the mic, everyone.
Oh, Dorit. So, Emery, okay, so they're talking about, they're trying to make this about the esophagus again. So Emery laughs and she's like, she tells us, I haven't known Sutton long, but the inconsistencies with Sutton in her past is very telling. And if anyone ever comes close to exposing her, she gets mad. Yeah, who doesn't get mad when people expose them? First of all, you dum-dum. And second of all, what are you exposing her about? Faking esophagus issues?
It's so bizarre.
Never heard of anything like this.
Do you think that your children are learning bad things from your esophageal issues?
Well, and then
Mr. Vanderpump made me say it.
And then Dorit's like, she's also a skeptic. She's like, I wouldn't say that it's made all that much sense to us. I mean, she's described to me before that she's had to crush up her food, like baby food. But then that following year, she was like, I just don't eat meat. But then she was eating bacon. I'm like,
Those things don't have anything to do with each other.
It is possible to have an esophagus issue and not eat meat, but on occasion, have a piece of bacon. Like, it literally makes sense to me.
They're just trying to string things together and be like, this is why she's crazy. No, that's not why she's crazy. This is why she's crazy. She says the same thing over and over again when in an argument. I mean, there's like 20,000 reasons that Sutton is crazy, but they're just stringing together random things.
Well, she said she had an esophageal issue, but then she said she doesn't eat meat because of it. But then she had bacon. She's a liar. She's a vegetarian esophagus liar.
What are you trying? There's enough on Sutton already.
Sutton is the biggest moving target. It's not even a moving target. It's just like it's just a giant wall you have to throw one little tennis ball at. And for 2 years, they've been incapable of doing this. Sutton started the season, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. She started the season so terribly by turning Dorit's like horrific home invasion and like minimizing it by saying like, well, we all do things. I'm not a fashion designer at the airport, whatever it was. Like, Sutton should have been the villain. That should have been the year that Sutton was like the worst and canceled and yada yada yada. And they just can't figure out how to do it. And like, Sutton gives them everything, and they just don't know how. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah. They just keep trying. They're so used to coming up with bullshit against each other that they just don't know how to use the real things against each other. You know, they just keep trying to make up bullshit. So
I just spilled Diet Coke on myself because you made me laugh.
It's true though. All the issues with each other on this show are like somewhat made up. You know. Yeah. Okay, so then it's like,
so what did you guys do this week? I leaned up against a window and tried out a problematic sweatshirt. It's quite good.
And then Kyle goes, oh, I had some meetings for that like 1 hour drama I'm doing, which of course no one knows about, and she knows no one knows about. So like this like humble brag thing, you know. She's basically doing clickbait for herself. And Dorit goes, gee, excuse me. Hello, my name's Dorit. What's your name? She's like, Kyle. Oh, do you remember that we're friends? Gee.
And Emery's like, oh my God, so you didn't know about this either? Oh, I don't know about it either. I've like literally been on the show for 5 minutes. How could I not know this? Oh, I'm exposing you right now. So then Dorit's like,
what else you not going to tell me? Do you have new tattoos?
And Kyle's like, actually, you know, Kyle does that. Like,
yeah.
She doesn't laugh. She's doing that. And she goes, actually, I do. She's like, cool.
And so then Kyle's like, yeah, I have 6 now. And Dorit's like, well, has Mo seen any of the ladies' tattoos? And he's seen any of the tattoos? She's like, yeah. I came home and I showed him, and like you could tell he was really annoyed. And then they show the clip of Mauricio going like, love bean. And we see the tattoo. Did we not comment on this before? Did we not notice this? Did we not see this revealed that it was a lightning bolt? Did I just forget? It's a lightning bolt.
No, it's a lightning bolt. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like she's even trying to do the Vanderpump Rules thing. I mean, she's just such a copycat, you know? And I don't know the timeline of when all of this stuff happened. I can't figure out timelines. I'm not smart like that. And also LA doesn't help you because it's just always sunny. You know what I mean? Do we know what?
Well, you know what? I would take it always being sunny instead of that humidity and those mosquitoes on the East Coast. So Kyle's like,
just came on my mommy memory.
Kyle's
so
like,
then
okay,
we-
so
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
so yeah, I got this tattoo. What happened was like Morgan was in town, so yeah, like her wagon, it kind of like broke, like the wheel fell off for a second. So we're like, well, while we're waiting for the wagon maker to come fix it, why don't we just get a tattoo? You know what I'm saying? We're just wacky best friends.
And then we get to see that scene again where they're like, "How did you meet her?" And she's like,
Oh, she stalked me. Kyle stalked me. That's what she did. That's Kyle Richards. I'm the first person who ever got a tattoo by Kyle Richards. That's for sure. I'm the first person who ever got lucky enough to get a tattoo by Kyle Richards.
Kyle's like, "Oh my god, I got like a Saturn, and I also got like a lightning ball."
Yeah, and I got, you know what I got out of it? I got the sweet tattoo of a horizon, a road going down to the horizon.
Morgan, that's okay. You're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Oh, would you look at that? Turns out the road going to the horizon's actually a K. I learned something new every day from you, Kyle Richards.
It was funny because Kyle Richards ended up putting the tattoo of the drug she likes to snort off my stomach in the Chateau Marmont, which I just wrote about my newest song, K.
Wait a minute, I thought that was for my initials.
That too, I guess.
Damn it. There's fried shrimp, dried shrimp, grilled
Hey.
shrimp.
Hey, Kyle, did you just put on a little bunny tattoo, little stick-figured bunny tattoo with its ears coming out of its head?
No, that's an R. Stop looking at my tattoos from the wrong angle.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, Kyle just put two B's right on top of each other. It's like one B coming down to another B. It's really
It's okay, God damn it, I love you.
busy. Very, very busy.
Wow, a real famous person put a tattoo on my body.
So then, so Anne-Marie's like, so who's Morgan? Do I know Morgan? Is she an 8.5? And Dorit's like, oh, it's her new best friend.
And Marie's like, "What would my husband score? Probably like a 7. Probably."
I hear she's a 7 across the boards. So
I can't wait to get remarried to my husband. And then he could like write our own vows and could be like, "Wow, to my wife, who's not attended anything."
So now Kyle is now that Kyle actually has been able to come up with a story for her tattoo situation, she's much more comfortable. So she's like, oh my God, it's so funny. Like, so like, you know, like Morgan, she has like everything on her, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, like she doesn't put like the thought into her tattoos the way I do. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm like a very thoughtful tattoo artist, which is why I'm a successful producer / actress in the Halloween franchise. Anyway, so she's like, you can like just put one on. I'm like, okay, I don't even care. So it's just like, you know, like putting something on a Pinterest board, right? So I just like, okay, I'll put a K on, you know what I'm saying? It's like very honest and like not lesbianish.
I just put like a half tattoo on, like I just put like a 0.5 because that's like how many seasons all my shows last. So, you know, things like that. Like it goes deeper. It goes deeper, you guys. And Dorit's like, "Well, did you put a D on?" She's like, "No, I'm trying to convince people that I'm like absolutely not into D anymore, Dorit. That's like my storyline. So follow
Kyle
me down the path."
Kyle is so full of bullshit. She says, I put a K on there because that way she could write any word that starts with K. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for your
Kite.
Thank you for your creative and like like kite or kiss because every kiss begins with
Kangaroo.
K. Kangaroo. Koala. It's like, hey, you know what, Morgan? I know you've been thinking about having the word koala on your on your body, and I just wanted to be the first one to start the word for you. Go
Well,
ahead.
you're missing the Ola. Shall we talk about Jackie Tuesday? So they don't though, not yet. So now they go to "There ain't nobody better than me. There ain't nobody better than me," and it's a Garcelle scene, but Garcelle is walking and they just, this is so disrespectful. They put migration over her face for the movie Migration that's coming out about the birds that are migrating. They put these everywhere. We see it. What was the one that they kept popping up last year? It was like the little minions or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is always funny when it's a Kyle scene and minions are popping up because like literally everybody she brings on this show is. But this one, they don't even keep it at the bottom anymore. They just put it right over Garcelle's face. It's just like
Nuts. No, but by the way,
Migration.
this Trixie song was more than what you said. Okay, these are the lyrics. I'm so fresh. I'm so clean. Ain't nobody do it better than me. It's like, okay, fine. Pull up on them pow with the gangsta lean. Can't nobody floss better than me. And it's just like Garcelle walking down a sidewalk on the Sunset Strip. First of all, why are we invoking like gangsta? Like, first, there's nothing even on this show that's remotely close to that. But again, it's like, okay, so on your black cast member, you're like, oh, let's put in the royalty-free music that says pull up on them pow with the gangsta lean. It's just so like,
I can't.
come on.
Could do better. So, they're at the
Thank you for
Classic
opening
Cat
my eyes,
Lounge.
Ronnie. The Classic Cat. I said thank you for opening my eyes to this music selection situation going on this show.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know, and I noticed that they're changing the music up on a lot of shows. It's just the wrong direction, but there's so many things. It's just the day and age we live. It's like we're trying to. It's like Garcelle says later.
Right.
Most people know better by now. You don't.
Yeah. By the way, and I have to also correct. I said Garcelle was the only black cast member. There's obviously Anne Marie, but I just keep forgetting she's a cast member because she's been on for like 1 second so far. So when they get to this place, the Classic Cat, they go inside. Now, if you thought the La Boheme waiter was overactive, though Classic Cat waitresses, they have one agenda and one agenda only. Bring back the lychee martini. They are like, you want a lychee martini? Do you like lychee martinis? How about a lychee martini? You want a second one? I've just brought an extra lychee martini to the table because I want you to have a lychee martini.
Oh God! And it's not only the lychee martini; it's called the lychee meow.
Oh, I'm sorry. That
Who wants to
wordplay is
drink
just
a lychee
so.
cat?
So I mean, what great wordplay. They swapped martini for meow because those two words sound exactly alike.
I'm bringing lychee back.
So Erika comes in. She goes,
Oh my God, what are we at? I love it here. What a wonderful place you got here. You got lychee? Just kidding. I see it everywhere. I'll have one. Do you have a hot toddy lychee? Do you have a lychee hot toddy? Do that for me, would you?
Hey, are you on OnlyFans? Just asking.
So she says,
Only lychee? Okay.
Only lychees. I heard about OnlyFans. I heard about OnlyFlans. And then I heard about Only Lychees, which didn't really have the same ring to it, but I subscribed.
So Erika comes and she's in her like manic, I'm a good person mode.
Like, here I am, back on the top of the world. I'm going to be doing a residency at the House of Blues 2 days a week in between wings. I'm in.
So Erika so Garcelle's like, oh, hi, it's so good to hang out with you. And Erika's like,
Yeah, well, when Garcelle first came in the group, we were friendly. And then we got off track. Mostly because of me. That's me, Erika, just taking the blame for things now. Go ahead, play the clip. Go ahead, play the clip.
and then we see Erika apologizing in the clip, like,
I was shit talking the kids, and I was over. Oh.
so Erica's saying that like everything's good right now, and she's got this residency, and be careful what you wish for because then you got to show up and perform. And she goes,
You know, I've done 1 million shows, but I've only hit about one note. And I've never had one riding like this on me before.
I've done 1 million shows in a quarter of an octave.
They say I'm not quite rap, not quite singing. So they don't really know what to do with me. But
actually, did
here
you
I am.
see the lady who came out today telling off Erika Jane? Let me look this up. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. I do not have it up and prepared because I've got pictures of Bueller. I needed to take 30 pictures of my dog today on my phone for some reason. Hold on. It's worth it, guys. Wait for it. Wait for it. Here it is. So this is Dance Diva Amber. This is who... This. Do you know who this is?
no, I just think it's a funny name, but go on.
It's she sings a damn. Where's the disco song?
Dance
that
Diva
I had?
Amber.
Yeah, it's some song that Erika does in her show, but God, I didn't take the whole screenshot. Okay, but here's her telling her off. She says, so today I was sent this clip here, and just like Karen Kassar from The Real McCoy had the nerve to lip sync to my track and original vocals when she was on the road with them and act like it was all her, so does this one apparently, The Pretty Mess. At first I thought it was a drag queen, you know, where men dress up as women and give a dramatic lip sync, and people know and understand it as a clear art form and not being the actual real artist of the song, and I can respect that. And I see an appreciation for the artist from the LGBTQIA plus community. After a little research, however, it turns out she was on one of these Housewives reality shows. No
One of
wonder I
these.
don't know her,
One of these Housewives shows.
as I do not watch that kind of stuff. Damn it, Ben.
I know. I'm so amused that this lady has an axe to grind with the real McCoy. That's my favorite part. She's like, you remember that song? I was the one who sang Runaway. Run away, run away, run away and save your life. That was me. And now Erika Jane has stolen me from the real McCoy.
Well, it is a super famous person. I mean, the song is super famous. I'll look it up while you talk, but this is so good. She's like, it turns out to be one of those Real Housewives reality shows. No wonder I don't know her, as I don't watch that kind of stuff. And then I was told that she supposedly also is a singer with her own dance records. Okay. So then let me ask you this. Why are you not taking out a mechanical license and just set up a little produced track yourself and add your own vocals on it and then lip sync the hell out of it? If you must lip sync, otherwise, go live, girl, without having to act like my vocals are all yours. Never in a million years, as a self-proclaimed performing artist, would I even come up with the thought of lip-syncing to a track and a vocal of another artist on a paid show on top, unless that is all I do and all that people know me clearly for. And I'm a queen or something.
Dance
The
Diva
original.
Amber.
Hashtag Amber. Hashtag don't be like Erika Jane. Hashtag authentic city matters. Hashtag dance diva Amber. Hashtag
Wait.
girl bye.
Well, my initial thought was, girl, why are you proud that that's your voice? Then my second thing, like, girl, like, that's like not something I'd be like, that's my voice in those songs. But also, wait, is this Amber from like the 90s? That singer Amber?
All night, I'm in love with you. All night. That's the song, I think. Hold on.
Wait a
I'll
second.
look her up.
Wait, Amber, she had another song. What, was that the one more na 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 na? Da, 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 da. She's Dutch.
Why
why I
can't
led with
I'm looking now? I'm looking at her
Sexual.
link tree. Okay, dance diva
This
Amber.
is your night.
This is your night.
This is your night. Da, 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 da.
So that's not what I was just singing, right?
I don't know if what I was doing qualified as singing. First of all, Amber.
I'm sure that people love
Amber
when we're like,
dance song. Well,
hey, do you
I'm gonna
remember
play it
this
on
thing?
YouTube.
Hold on.
Oh, Sexual. Wait, her song Sexual is so good. Oh yeah. Da 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 da. Deep dot today. Deep dot today. Deep dot today. Deep dot today. This is your night. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da da
That's
da
it.
da 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 da. Na 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 na. Be alright. Oh no.
Yeah, that's it.
I
So
was trying
she's
to
pissed
play
at
it
Erika
on
Jane.
YouTube, but it's like not working.
And then the clip that she's talking about, it is just her original song. It's played side by side. Erika literally just plays a song from the radio and lip syncs it badly while dancing badly. I'm like, what is going on? What are you doing? You're not singing even close to something that you're pretending you're making your own. And it's not like anybody thinks it's her own, but like you can't just go lip sync to somebody else's actual vocals, can you? Is that allowed?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Or do you think she just considers herself a drag queen at this point? Because she knows.
I love the gays.
I don't think you could do that.
All I know is that I really hope that this is Amber from the 90s getting mad at Erika Jane, because that's what we need today.
It is.
That's what we need. We need to move on from it. So it really is her.
It's really her.
It's her.
Yeah.
Dance
It's
diva
her. She's like,
Amber.
who's this bitch lip syncing my actual fucking vocals? Like, who does that? It's great.
I'm just also happy because I feel like we're shining a light on on Amber, I think people would have forgotten who she is. And I feel like we danced the other
We're
Amber.
dicks, first of all. We're like, justice
She
for
looks
this
like a
person. Who is
Manzo.
this person?
She is eight. She now looks like look at the picture of her these days. She looks like
still hot, I'm sure. Hot as F.
yeah, but she looks like a manzo. She's like now turned into a manzo.
Like a manzo.
Amber
okay.
is a manzo now.
Amber
So are
Manzo.
we- okay.
So we back to Erika. So Garcelle's like, well, I'm glad you joined me. A friend will be joining us. And she's like,
Oh, God, is it Denise? Is Denise joining us?
and she's like, no. My other friend. I will tell you though, Denise is coming to Taco Tuesday. She's like,
Oh, Denise is coming to Taco Tuesday.
Well, and we all know the original Taco, or should I say Taco Tuesday hostess on Bravo, Countess Luann de Lesseps.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday with my son, whatever his name is, Noel, perhaps. But that was like her contribution to raising her children, was that she would make Taco Tuesday with them.
That's how I do. That's why they've grown up to have art shows on La Brea by Mr. Burger.
Mr. Burger. Oh yeah, I fucked Mr. Burger in 1999. Quiet, Sonia.
So the friend is Sutton. Okay. So Sutton comes in and Erika's like,
I knew I was set up. I knew it. God, I love this. I'm such a fun-loving girl with the residency.
Your hair looks adorable.
And she's like, well, I flipped over my pot because it was dirty. And then, of course, the waitress shows up with, like, basically a shot ski full of, like, lychee martinis. Lychee martinis? And she's like, no, I don't want a lychee martini. Please get that shit out of my face.
so Erika's like,
I was just thinking of you because I almost sent you a thing about gossiping in the South. It says you don't gossip in the South, you put someone on your prayer list. Maybe I could put Denise on my prayer list. Listen, she's got to let this 4-year beef go. So who even remembers what happened 4 years ago?
Yeah, I totally let it go at Kyle's house, as will be evidenced later on in this episode when I'm totally post-feud.
So Garcelle's like, well, she wasn't clear with what her issues were, but I saw her afterwards and she explained it. And we see a flashback to Denise saying that she was really pissed that Erika said that the teenagers, made the threesome comment. And Erika's like,
Listen, I said they know what threesomes are if they haven't had one already. Okay, you've seen the Euphoria. That's a great show. They know it. They understand it.
and she also, Erika did shitty things other than that. I don't know why she's going all the way back to that. Erika got pretty nasty with her towards the end, and it's funny that Denise can't come up with anything. She's just like,
Yeah, something about my kids' threesomes. I'm really mad about that part. Still really mad.
and so Erika's like,
Oh, by the way, did you know that it's $7 for a naked bundle of Denise Richards on OnlyFans? Oh,
and Garcelle's like, oh God, shut up, Erika.
because now they're wasted. They've had like a million lychee martinis. At one point, Sutton goes, I look like a baby. And Garcelle goes, Baby Yoda. And Sutton's like, no. So then Erika's like, yeah, can you believe Denise is only $7? And then they all just are laughing because Denise has priced herself so low. And
Which
Sutton's
is
like,
funny because that's what Erika rumored. This was what was being reported, that Erika's tickets at her residency were going for like $7, and they were having to bus in like busloads of people to come for free to just fill seats. So that karma ended up kind of biting her on the ass. If it's true.
But hey, do a volume business. Don't do quantity over quality sometimes. So then Erika is like, because then Sutton's like, it's not
We
really
say on our
naked,
ninth
is it?
podcast of the week.
Yeah,
we're
like,
talking about random
give him
shit.
everything for free. Okay, so I'm just gonna do Luann voice for everything now. So Garcelle's they're basically like, yeah, she's showing everything, and Garcelle's like, seems a little low for Denise fucking Richards. I mean, you can do better. I mean, how about $10? Am I right? So then they're like, okay, well, it's time to go. Who's driving? And Sutton goes, well, I always have a driver with me at all times. And Garcelle's like, oh, You mean the driver that you made out with? Kidding. Didn't mean to say that part on camera.
Oh, and Erica's like,
What? What are you talking about? The driver you made out with? She's like, you just be quiet over there.
Garcelle's like, oh God, I think I peed my pants laughing so. I think I need Depends.
Garcelle!
So now we go to Dorit's house. Now they're all getting ready for taco night. So Dorit is in glam, and she has a stain on her white shirt, and she goes,
You know what I worry about? I have tanner on.
and they're like, oh, Dorit, you are so brave for wearing a white sweatshirt. You know what? She really is kind of an American hero. Look at her wearing a white sweatshirt
Dorit.
with tanner on.
She really is. And they're tide sticking. I thought they were making a comment of like, oh my God, I can't believe you're having us tide stick your boob while you've got tanner on. I didn't know if it was like some crazy combination. It's like Dorit's just going to start, spontaneously combust. I didn't know what it was, but I was oddly fascinated by this 5-second scene.
Yeah. And then Kyle's doing glam in whatever little hobby hole she does her glam in. And she FaceTimes Anne Marie, who's in Hawaii. And Kyle's like, oh my God, I'm like so jealous. I'm getting ready for Taco Tuesday. And like Denise and Erika are both going to be there tonight. And like, I don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, bye, whatever your name is. And then she just hangs up.
So let's see. So then Sutton is with her glam team. And the girl, I don't know. There's a guy and a girl. And the girl's like, so what are you doing? Why are you on OnlyFans? She's like, because Erika's on there. Supposedly, or Erika said that Denise is on there. So I'm going to tip her $12, I guess. Wait, is it $7? It's $7 for uncensored. So I don't know what I'm going to find here. Hopefully nothing bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. And we see the blurred out picture, and it's Denise facing away from the camera, right? It's her backside, but she's in a thong. I mean, Sutton's acting like it's a donkey show. Who cares?
And Sutton's like, I'm not going to pay that. And the girl goes, but for the price of a cup of coffee, we can see it. Which was so shady. That lady, wow, that was great.
Yeah, she was pretty funny. So then Garcelle picks up Denise, and Denise is like, hey, girl, hey. Oh, I had to run out. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to run out for my in-laws. She goes, oh, are they staying with you? Yeah, for a year and a half. Oh, my God. How are we not shooting Denise's life? Aaron's parents are staying with Denise. Oh, my God. The 5G of it all. Get the cameras. Right? Get Andy in a camera.
So Garcelle's like, well, you're going to see Erika tonight. I am? Well, crap. I wish I'd dress up more. Jeez. Garcelle's like, well, I just want you to hear it here first. She goes like, okay, well, okay. I guess I'll get my laundry list ready. Okay. He's like, yeah, start washing those clothes, honey.
So then Dorit and Kyle are driving in the car, and Dorit's guilting Kyle.
Like, why aren't you telling me what television shows you're doing? Listen, there's only going to be about 3 episodes before it's canceled. I need to make sure to do them. Now, listen, I guess I have to put your initial on my body for you to actually care.
Which was pretty good.
She goes, I mean, literally. I genuinely feel hurt by this distance between Kyle and I. Kyle and I used to go away once or twice a year, and now I'm not invited to any of Kyle's trips. And, I don't believe she said yes, she would come to opening night of me getting a cream pie in my face at a Pantone with Boy George in London doing Peter Pan as the mermaid, which is an inessential character in the story.
So then Kyle, of course, is like, the reason I haven't reached out to Dorit yet is because I was hurt by Dorit. I was hurt. And then we show the reunion. Because, on this show, if you are not constantly carrying water for Kyle Richards and have your head up her ass, she's done with you. She used, I'm going to say used. I think her and Dorit were friends to take down Vanderpump. They stayed in that little alliance of Fox Force 5. Now it's broken up. And the second somebody disagrees with Kyle literally for 2 seconds, Kyle's like, I was hurt. And so now I'm never going to hang out with her again or go on trips with her. So
this is literally so shitty as a friend when the fact that like Dorit says one line. She says like, Kyle, Kathy just wants you to accept a little bit of responsibility in this. And then Kyle tells us, you know what, like in private, Dorit's been saying to me, like, I feel so bad like what you're going through with your sister. She was like really supportive and on my side. And then when we're all together, it's like a different tune. And like that doesn't feel like a friend to me. I'm like, well, actually, what doesn't feel like a friend is that like she upset you, and the queen of open and honest never said anything back to Dorit. Instead, just stopped inviting her on trips and everything and grew apart from her and left her in the dark about all sorts of important things, like whatever movie you've produced for Great American Country or QVC or whatever. So, like, I feel like also what Kyle is accusing Kathy of is exactly what Kyle is doing to Dorit. So I think that Kyle is wrong.
Kyle's gonna Kyle. Also, this reunion clip they're showing, I mean, that whole reunion was Kyle just snot sobbing. Oh, like, I can't believe you did that to me, Kathy. I literally got it. And every time Kathy would be like, well, Kyle, I mean, here's what I have to say. And then she's like, oh, Kathy. I think they just all got sick of it. They were like, Kyle. She's
And
literally just
exactly.
saying. But also, I have not watched this Paris in Love show. Have you been watching it?
No, because I barely have time to watch Survivor. I can't take on Paris.
Same.
The finale is happening
but,
right now.
But there's just a lot going on. But people are like, oh my God, Kathy Hilton is a fucking monster. I can't believe we didn't know this. What show were you watching? Of course she's a monster.
Are you in America? Of course she's a monster. She's always been a monster. This is always the crux of what we said. This whole thing, Kathy having this meltdown in Aspen, of course she did.
Believed it.
Yeah. Of course, we're watching because of this. Like we like this. We like that she's a monster and she pretends to be nice for us.
I mean, I don't like her calling someone the F word, which she was accused of doing, but I don't know.
No.
I don't know that I necessarily believe that. But yeah, I do believe that she's a fucking monster, but I like it. She's a monster who's under Kyle's bed, and I root for that monster. They're just listen, I root for Michael. You know what I mean? There are just some monsters you root for.
Well, who lasts longer? So Michael does.
It's Michael, right?
It's Michael. So Kyle is like, she's talking about the tattoo, and she's saying like, oh yeah, Morgan has so many tattoos. I figure like, what difference does it make to put a K on it, her or whatever? And Rico is like, I can't believe how good friends you guys are. And Kyle goes, I know. People are like, I don't understand your friendship. Well, you two are kind of morphing into one another. More specifically, you're morphing into her, which is hilarious. That like, Dorit's just saying it. Dorit is literally like, you are obsessed with this woman, and you are like, I thought it was us in the content creation community that were saying these things. I was surprised to hear it from the friends. They're always so gentle with each other, and that Dorit's like, are you trying to like, why are you copying her?
Kyle did an Instagram post that was like, I'm so excited about my new venture because my family's always loved tequila. So I'm investing in tequila, which is like, I mean.
No.
Okay. Yes.
She is.
She's doing a big tequila thing. And her hair is like dry on purpose. Like, I'm not I don't care about people's hair. I'm bald. I'm not like, oh my God, she's got dry hair. I'm not like a hair queen. I'm just saying, like, she looks like she's purposely getting like dry hair. She's purposely doing it and wearing a trucker hat. And just like, she's just trying to do this whole thing. It's like Morgan Wade cosplay, and it's just fucking creepy at this point. It's just weird. Just stop, And Dorit's like, I mean, look, you've got a face, you've got a tattoo. I've never heard you list so many different kinds of shrimp.
So then we have Dorit basically is worried that she's not only being excluded, but perhaps replaced. So then we get Trixie saying, turn it up a notch, everybody's pulling up, shot, we're rich, we're so paid, we got money, we get laid, take it up a notch. You guys are.
This
We're
is
going to
so
Taco
stupid.
Tuesday at Crystal's house. Let's
It's
just
so
calm down.
stupid. And they're trying to copy Selling Sunset, right? They're like, oh my God, that was a hit. So just make every song like, I'm a rich, rich bitch on a bitch, stitch.
Unless that's a Garcelle scene.
They're trying to do that, but it's just so bad. You know, just Selling Sunset's like cheesy and fun. It's like the good version of that. You guys, this is just a $5
Just go back
ripoff.
to the
Just
Alamo
stop.
Bazaar.
Yeah.
So Crystal is slicing some steak for Rob to try. He's like, "Great, gotta go, bye." So he disappears, and then, warming my heart, none other than Nia. Nia shows up, who is a friend of the podcast, and she shows up, and I always get excited when people we know get to like make it onto one of these shows and they get to witness craziness, and I'm so happy that Nia got to show up to a wild dinner party. I'm just like. It's like I feel like I've taken a butterfly and let it release into the wilderness and let it fly off into the sky
A butterfly.
in the shape of Taco Tuesday.
And just the joy too, because she is like a fan of these shows, you know. So just like the joy of someone who actually enjoys the shows, being there and being like, oh my God, these people are crazy.
I know. She's like, wait, I get to stir the pot tonight? I'm like, I'm just like showing up to Taco Tuesday, and they're actually just like basically gave me the control to stir the pot tonight.
Because people come on the show and they're usually like, they don't say anything. Like the rest of Crystal's friends, I don't think they say a word. They just all look at each other like, isn't this crazy? But Nia's like, oh my God, I get to fuck with Sutton? Yes.
She's like, sure. A woman named Leanne showed up, who I think we've seen before, and she gets a name, but she doesn't say anything. But they're like, here, Nia, please. Here, go. Make Sutton angry.
So a bunch of her friends come, and Dorit's like, I'm always surprised how many friends Crystal has. I mean, I know it's that number minus 14, but still, it's so shady and so funny. So Nia's like, I saw you guys at a birthday party with a stripper who I clarified was not really stripping. I mean, he took his shirt off and it was Magic Mike kind of a thing. You know, Kyle, have you seen that in Vegas? Have you seen? Oh no, Kyle's like, have you seen that in Vegas? And he goes, yeah, twice, because my husband was performing there. And Kyle goes, who's your husband? She goes, Bill Burr. And Kyle's like,
Nia goes, Bill Burr, he's a comedian, which was such an amazing flex. Being like, I have a famous husband, and if you're gonna try to start with me on anything tonight, like, I don't care.
he's gonna fucking rip you a new asshole on his next
He will
door.
destroy you.
But I also love that Kyle and Dorit were both like,
Who? Bill Burr. Bill Burr. Is he cold? Is he cold all the time? He's Burr cold.
Kyle's like, does he rhyme any songs with truck? Because those are my favorite kind of artists.
Have you put a letter on his body so that way he can fill in the blank with any sort of word he wants?
His dummies. So Dorit's like, well, let me tell you, the woman coming tonight had an absolute meltdown in the middle of Magic Mink.
Nia's like, why? And then Kyle's like, we don't know. But we would love to know, even though we've actually already asked her this, but we'd love a stranger to go and try to make her feel bad. Would you like to do that, Nia?
She's like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to go there.
And by the way, at this point, Kyle takes off like the top, like her like jacket or something, and she has like a bedazzled phone case attached to her suspender. I can't with Kyle.
Kyle. So other people. Oh, so then there's a commercial with Garcelle and Gina from Real Housewives and Lisa Hochstein, who we learned on YouTube is Hochstein, not Hochstein. How dare we? So Lisa Hochstein do a Clorox commercial, and the Clorox commercial, the gist is, look, they're having tea. And sometimes you spill tea, like the Housewives. And she's like, yeah, sometimes tea spills. And then they spill it. And then like, thank God, I got Clorox disinfectant wipes. And Giselle's like, we have wipes. We will wipe it up because sometimes tea is spilled.
Wow, I can only imagine how thrilling it must have been to be on that set.
You know what? This once when I was with Mia, it was just like so hard, like what we went through with Mia, and like it's like when I had to give my testimony, it's just like really hard because like I had to like move out of that relationship, and then Lenny, oh God, what Lenny did to me? Yeah, but Matt, like it's just like really hard, but Lenny, literally the worst set of all time.
So then we come back, and Jenny come, who I want to be cast on the show just because their names are Jenny and Jenny. And then Garcelle and Denise come. People come. But when Erika comes, it's like, dun, 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 dun. And she's like,
Hello, how are you? Is this party outside? I don't want to be sick. I have a voice. I have a very, very delicate voice. I have a residency coming up, It's a very, very difficult to lip sync after I've been in the cold. So.
I mean, why can't we eat tacos inside? I'm cold, I'm irritable, and and who's that but Denise? That's the last person that I want to see.
So then we get like a classic moment, Dorit doing her drink order, but she doesn't ask for carcass out, which felt like a little bit of a letdown. Like, you got to do the carcass out, Dorit. That's like your thing. Got to do it.
So Denise comes and tries to talk to her. She's like, hey, just wanted to tell you, the other night when I got home, I actually had a fever. It was like 102 degrees. I was really crazy. And she's like, oh, sure, Denise, you had a fever. Drinky. Would you like a drink, a little heroinista or little fever, eh?
So then Sutton shows up, and she's wearing just kind of like a summery kind of dress, and they're like furious at her because it's really cold outside. And then Sutton shows up in this dress, and they're like, Dorit's like, oh my God, it's not summer. That's like the most offensive thing Dorit has ever seen.
Well, she's wearing this like strapless summer dress, and she's like, I'm cold. So she's like, it's cold. Hello, Crystal. By the way, you walk in the front door, you can see straight into the backyard that has the doors open with everybody in the party. But Sutton's walking around going, Crystal. Like she cannot believe she has been left without a hostess to say hello to her.
I know.
Shut up, Sutton.
She's so offended.
Oh my God.
So
Let's go
now
in.
that the
Get
entire
your
group is
taco.
there, they finally go back inside because it's cold. They're going to eat their tacos inside as per the suggestion of Erika. And they're all inside. And then we get this night, it's like the hits keep on rolling. Kim Richards shows up. I mean, we got everyone here. So Kim Richards is there. And then she walks in and Erika's like, oh, come on in. Everyone's right inside. And Kim's like, who's everyone? I saw a lot of cars outside. I hope no one minds that I drew a platypus on one of the SUVs out there. It just kind of took over my artistic inspiration.
So then Dorit's like, wow, look at all this food. I really could have done without that shawarma pita 3 hours ago. Okay, lady who's just spent the entire episode making fun of an esophagus disorder, coming up with yet another reason to not eat. Okay? Those people on this show are such hypocrites.
Well, she ate an entire shawarma, mama.
Shawarma!
Shawarma!
So Sutton's giving her shit for trying to poach Avi at her party, which was innocent. But they seem like they're getting along, right? They're like, oh, you did try to steal him. She's like, I did not charge it. She's like, you did. So she's like, well, so are you going to keep accusing me of things I'm not doing? She's like, well, are you going to keep accusing me of putting vodka in my coffee? Oh, what about that one? What about that one?
Well, Sutton, I don't even know if you put vodka in your coffee.
And she goes, well, I don't even drink coffee, so there's that. And even if I did drink coffee, everyone knows whiskey is what goes in there. So Dorit's like, well, there we go. Everything, problem solved. Case closed. That was an easy one, which is hilarious because they're both still furious at each other.
Yeah, and it's like, well, it wasn't an accusation. I swear it was a fun, good-natured allegation about alcoholism.
She probably puts tequila on her shawarma.
So Erika,
Dude, wraps a bottle of Belvedere in a bitter.
That's not tahini sauce. That's cream sherry.
so Dorit's like, Erika. Erica's saying,
Yeah, well, guess what? The other night we went out, Garcelle, Sutton and I, we went out to the cat place, got a lot of lychee martinis, had a great time, laughed all the time. Oh, that's great. That's great. So you had a fabulous night out where I wasn't invited and you had tons of laughs. Thanks so much. I guess I'm just at home with my shawarma, just crying in tears into PK's Pringles.
So then Erica's like,
Oh yeah, Garcelle told us how Sutton made out with the drama.
and then there's dramatic music. And people are like, oh my God. And Erica's like,
Oh wow, guess I said that really loud in front of everybody. Whoops.
Kudos to you, Sutton.
well, he was one of my drivers. He doesn't have mommy issues, which at this point, that's all I really need.
so she's like, well, maybe on accident I made out with him. Okay, once in a while, you meet someone who's handsome, and then they say, would you sit up here in the front seat? And you do. And then you kind of lean over, and then they kind of lean over, and you accidentally maybe kiss, which turns into make out. Maybe. Possibly. Problematic. Okay, you're going to get sued. Why are you doing this on TV? Why are you...
I know. So it's like, listen, it was just like a makeout session. It was innocent. It's like what they would do in Happy Days.
Happy Days? You're taking something that's sexy and making it as unsexy as you could possibly make it.
I'm like, could we please cut to your Pretty Woman reenactment from a few weeks ago? Thank you very much.
You're literally married to BK. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, Berlin.
Take my breath away.
Take my shawarma away.
No, seriously, take Sutton's breath away. It smells like vodka.
Vodka and Folgers.
Espresso martini.
So,
Taster's choice. Smeller's displeasure.
So then Kyle is sitting with Kim, and she's like, oh my God, what do you have in your collar, Kim? She's like,
Well, I don't know.
Kim, you have something in your collar.
No, I don't.
You do, Kim. It's in your scarf.
I don't got anything in there. Kyle, is it Emilio west of us? Emilio, get out of my scarf. Hey, Emilio, this isn't what you meant. Get out of here. You want to go bowling? I love bowling. Did you think turtles bowl, Kyle?
She pulls out a tissue out of her that's embedded in her scarf. She's like, well, yeah, sometimes I just like to put it right in there.
Sometimes I get a running nose, and I just like to have it there. It's like, oh my God, you never know what you're going to get when you're looking into Kim's scarf. Snacks, a phone charger, a small kitten. I mean, I have no idea.
You literally have a battery attached to your suspender, Kyle, and it's bedazzled, so settle down. So then... Although she's right. So Kyle and Erika are getting some tea, and so they go off with Crystal to the kitchen to get some tea, and then Dorit out of nowhere goes,
I'm so annoyed. Crystal is drumming up shit to get Sutton and I at each other.
I was like, did I miss a scene? Did we miss a scene of Crystal doing something? Because I don't think I saw something.
she did, though. She was like, yeah, well, Dorit said that you're putting vodka in your coffee.
Right, that was last week, but it was just like Dorit getting like re-mad about it again, like wait
Because
a second.
Sutton just confronted her and was like, oh, you're saying that I put vodka in my coffee.
Right.
So she's like, oh, Crystal's trying to start something with me and Sutton. But you did say that, so. I mean,
Yeah, and Garcelle goes, well, I'm surprised she's actually talking about something. The way they outwardly talk about this, and they kept Crystal as a full-fledged housewife, is hilarious to me.
At least she's doing something. I mean, wow. She said something that didn't have to do with tacos tonight, so that was impressive. So Crystal's, then we get a clip of Crystal's greatest hits. Oh, there was more that was said. Sutton said way, way, way more, and it was way dark. It was way darker. And they're like, say it. She's like, no.
Yeah, because Dorit's like,
Crystal doesn't say much, but when she does say something, it's either talking behind someone's back or looking to stir the pot. So she goes, at least if you're going to stir the pot, balance it with something else.
Yeah.
so yeah. So then Garcelle's basically like, we should just all air our grievances tonight.
Okay, Sutton is talking, and Nia's around, right? So,
Yeah.
well, she's telling the
Well,
girls. She's like,
all the
well,
non-housewives are sitting on this one couch like they're an audience, which is hilarious.
So, I can tell y'all about this. Okay, this is cleared with the driver. So, I went to see my horse, who finally got his apartment. Okay. And we're like, and Nia goes, a barn? Do you mean a barn? She goes, no, well, you may call it that, but I call it an apartment because his name is Santos, and I have language with Santos. Okay, it's a horse language. And Kim was like, oh yeah, I talk to horses. Talk to horses all the time. I fucking love horses. It's horrible.
Well, I talked to mine too, Kim.
I
Kim's
drew
like,
on a horse. I drew a fox on a horse. It was crazy.
But I understand them. I like how Kim says it like, yeah, you may talk, but I actually understand what they have to say. And then she laughs. Nia's like, so, okay, so I'm here. So, what happened in Vegas? In particular, the Magic Mike show. Can we move the scene along? So Sutton's like, oh, well, I just didn't like all the legs that were spread and the man's head on the inside of it. It was just sort of slutty and gross, and I just didn't enjoy that very much.
And Denise goes, whose legs were spread? What? What was that? How much did they charge?
And Sutton's like, it was Erika and Crystal's. And Nia's like, oh, Dorit. Now we're getting the story. We're getting the story now, Dorit.
So Sutton's like, you know what? I don't even know why I have to explain this. You know, some people like mustard and some people don't like mustard. Someone goes, does Denise not like mustard? Why are you looking at Denise? She goes, how would I know? I don't know what Denise likes mustard. Listen, I'm not paying to find out. Okay, here's the point. I was in a good headspace. I was not in a good headspace. And so basically, I ruined the whole night. So thank you for asking, lady I don't know. Appreciate that.
Wait, now hold on one second. How do you know about it, other lady on the couch? And Nia's like, well, the girls were talking about how they loved Magic Mike, and they mentioned that there was someone who did not have as much fun, and so I playfully said, how could you have a meltdown at Magic Mike, because it's kind of like the happiest place on earth. What the hell is wrong with you? And furthermore, I was inspired to say this by Kyle and Dorit. Does that help anyone right now?
Well, I love when also they showed the clip of Dorit going, she had an absolute meltdown. It's like 5 minutes ago. And then it cuts to Sutton going, well, it's not Disneyland. Okay, so don't call it that. And Nia, she tells us, Nia, who are you and why is this story relevant on Taco Night? Why?
Why on our Mexican fiesta are you telling this story? Sutton goes, I was just uncomfortable and I just didn't want to be there. And so Dorit goes, honey, but you had $51 bills that you were flashing around. Well, that was just like a funny goofball thing. Like, hey, imagine if I was a loose woman. This is what I would do. But it was a joke.
And she's like, well, I did see you have 50s. I could see you getting a lip dance from the dancer. And everybody laughs. And she's, oh, you're all laughing because you know that is something I would never do. It's like if someone made a joke of me having a job as a, I don't know, cashier or a laborer, something like that.
Or like if someone said you're going to go on a second date with a man who has 12 stories about his mama ready to go, and one of them involves banging a catfish on the table. So Dorit's like, oh, you would never do that. Well, you did make out with your driver. And everyone's like, the entire like the audience couch is like,
Dorit. You know, Dorit is accused a lot of just being boring and have nothing going on. Dorit is earning her check this year, I have to say. Dorit is fucking so funny. I mean, I think she's always been funny and added something, but she's killing it this year. So Garcelle's like, wait now. Hold on. That was between me and Erika and Sutton. And now I feel like you're using that against her. That's not fair. And Sutton's like, well, you're equating those two things. Okay, now my driver has become my friend. And just because I was attracted to him, and then we had a little makeout session when he was on the payroll, and Crystal's friends are looking at each other like, what?
They're like, oh my God, best night ever to come to Crystal's house. And Dorit's like, no, I didn't say it with any judgment.
Why did you bring it up? Why did you bring it up? Why did you bring it up?
Are you getting heated
Why
because
did you bring it up?
said I
Why
didn't
did you bring
embarrass
it up?
you?
Why?
Well, I'm trying.
Why?
Stop asking the
Why?
same question.
Why did you bring
Stop,
it up?
uh,
Why did
don't
you
ask
bring
the
it up?
question and not wait for the answer.
Why did you bring it up?
Why are you doing this?
Why?
Why?
Why did you bring
What-
it up? Why?
You are more
Why?
insolent than PK
Why?
when I tell them the store's out of Pringles.
Why'd you bring it up? Why'd you bring it up?
Why would you let me
Breakfast
answer the
sandwich?
question in the first place?
Why?
This
Why-
is not how you treat someone who is the star
Why'd you bring it
of
up?
a show that's happening in London right now.
Why'd you bring it up? I just want Dorit. I just want a pie to just splat in Dorit's face every once in a while on this show.
I know. So Erica's like, I hear voices. And Kyle goes, it's like deja vu. And then we see like, name him, name him, name him, name him, name him.
Sutton really is taking that Housewives thing of just repeating one thing over and over and over again to win an argument that you have no idea. So then Dorit goes, why am I bringing it up? Because you're talking about your prudish behavior. Well, 10 minutes ago, you talked about making out with your driver. Why do you think I mentioned it, girl? Like, do?
I just said we were going back and forth, that it was in jest. It was playful. It was joking. It was perhaps, something to make you feel very embarrassed in front of this entire lovely sofa of women. 6 people
I
on
just
one
feel-
sofa. Amazing how they cram in there.
Well, I just feel like you were saying it to embarrass her in front of these women. That's not fair. Sutton goes, she was. She goes, well, sometimes it's important to give people the benefit of the doubt. She goes, what people? Me, in this instance.
And then the entire audience, aka the couch, they all just start laughing like it's a sitcom. They're like, ha 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 ha.
It was
I
pretty
love that
funny.
they are literally an audience in this fight. So they all laugh, and then Dorit's like,
Why is it okay for Erika to scream across the room and Garcelle not to say a word to her? It just feels like another reason for Garcelle to take issue with me. And if you don't like me, Garcelle, stop pretending that you do.
I don't think she's really pretending that she does. I think she's tolerating your stupid ass. You did just take some information and then use it against her to try and embarrass her. Dorit, you did
And you
just
didn't-
do it. Like, just admit it.
you did not say it in like a funny, like girlfriend sort of way. Like, oh, you wouldn't, yeah, but you made out with the driver. You were like, but you made out with the driver, so don't act like you wouldn't be a prude, because you're
But at the same
secretly
time-
like skanky.
Yeah, but at the same time, Garcelle is the one who originally blurted out this information to Erika. So, of course, Erika took that information and used it to embarrass Sutton, which then in turn caused Dorit to take it and use it for Sutton. So it was fodder, but Garcelle did drop that to Erika. In the
Garcelle
first
dropped
place.
it, but you know what though? Garcelle also said just kidding, and Sutton could have been like, that's like, oh, I wish, or whatever. She could have deflected, but Sutton kind of like she was enjoying it too at that bar. She's like, I
So
did,
maybe
a
I
little
was
bit.
kind of in love with somebody, and maybe I hired somebody else who could write poetry and, put on a smaller nose or something, stand outside their castle, maybe say something. Stop talking about Cyrano. That was a weird movie. I don't even want to talk about that.
So Garcelle's like, when I said it to Erika, we were having a good time, and I apologize because I didn't know that this was going to be brought out of it, like it was going to be brought out in here. And Dorit's like,
But we are having a good time. We're having such a good time right now at Taco Tuesday. Oh, if only I hadn't had that shawarma.
And she laughs. She's like, well, if you have to say it like that, we're not having a good time. But you just attacked me. And then it's like, oh no, it's violence. And of course, I know that we made the same sounds in our home without even being in your home. A hand slapping our forehead. Like, oh my God, Dorit. Like, she just never fucking learns. So Garcelle tells her, I did not attack you. Calm down. But it feels like an attack. And Garcelle tells us, this girl, she lives in a bubble, and it triggers me. We live in a world where we're woke and we're aware and whatever, and I just feel like she's not. So she explains to her, just so you're aware, I did not attack you. We had a conversation. But it felt like you were suggesting that I was trying to hurt her. She says, I was saying that. I wasn't suggesting. I was saying you were saying it to hurt her.
and Dorit goes, exactly. And she goes, yeah, but that's not an attack. There's a different thing than an attack. And Dorit starts saying,
Well, it feels like, what's a good word, Garcelle?
and Garcelle's like, I don't know, but I feel like she's basically, Garcelle's like over it because this is like the third year she's dealt with it, you know. She's like, for you and your privilege, I can't. And all the women are like, and it's so awkward. And Dorit goes, what does that mean? And Erika goes, it means you're white and the words are different. They have different connotations, different meanings, you dum-dum.
Yes, thank God, because they keep tiptoeing around it. No one will just say it. You know what I mean? And it's not the word. And that's the thing with Dorit. She's like, oh, so I can't say that word.
No.
So then what is another word that I could use? It's aggressive good. No.
Aggressive.
Dorit,
Yes.
you know?
It's that
Angry?
it's that
Can
you
I say
are
angry? No, it's not the fucking word. It's the implication that a black woman can't disagree with you without it being you're angry, you're aggressive, or you were
Dangerous.
attacking me. Yeah.
Right.
Like
right. Like all of a sudden it gets elevated to like danger and scary.
Yes.
So so then Erika explains it, you know, she says the word of attack has a different meaning when it comes from a white woman to a black woman. It just does. And I don't think Dorit meant to hurt Garcelle, but it does hurt Garcelle. So Dorit's like, Garcelle, I'm very, very sorry that I've triggered a nerve and offended you and upsetted you. And I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Garcelle's like, nope, I'm good. I'm not here to educate you.
And she says, well, I think you just have. And she says, well, that's on you then. Okay. So now it's really awkward. And everyone's like, what the hell? And Dorit's saying, I have no idea where this comes from, you know? I mean, if she just said it triggered me, I would have immediately understood. And I would apologize. And I would have said, please stop yelling.
She did, though. She said that was not an attack. So she
I just
did
wish she
say
said
that.
she was triggered so I could say, ow, my ears. Oh.
So then there's just like this, like the most awkward silence. This type of awkward silence that comes after someone has said a microaggression and everyone doesn't know how to pivot out of it. And thankfully, we have Kim Richards.
The bukkake was great. Which I was like, did she just say the bukkake was great?
I think-
I rewound it. I was like, I
Did
have
she
to
say
record
bukkake?
this on my phone. No,
I thought she
didn't.
said bulgogi.
She said bukkake. She said
But
bukkake.
No, but I have to say though, Ronnie, I thought she said bukkake at first also. And I was like, that can't be. It has to be bulgogi.
Died.
The bulgogi is great. I learned that on the set of Witch Mountain. If things get weird, just say bulgogi is great, and then just move on to the next scene.
You know, when it's just one person, it's called common.
And she just cracks up at her own self.
She goes, the bulgogi was great.
Kim was so funny in this whole end of the episode. So Denise is
like,
like,
you-
well.
yeah.
So Crystal goes, so does someone want to download me on what happened? And Denise is like, well, apparently you were told, Dorit, that she went out with her driver. And Sutton's like, okay, Dorit announced it to these people here.
The couch
Dorit
people.
that.
The strange, non-famous couch people.
And Erika goes,
Oh, yeah. And she's like sitting up straight and like putting on lip gloss, like really making a big show out of putting on my lip gloss. This is me putting on lip gloss, not caring a bit. Oh.
And Dorit's like, but in jest, it was a joke. It was a joke. And Denise goes, well, apparently it didn't land well. She's, I can tell, trust me, loud and clear. It's like the end of Act 1 at the Pantone. So Sutton's like, she's like, well, where have y'all been? And Erika's like, conspiring in the kitchen. So Dorit's like, well, I'm glad you actually enjoyed the conversation, Crystal, because separately, Sutton said to me once again that she heard you, Crystal, saying that I said that Sutton puts vodka in her coffee, and I've never said such a thing in my life.
She goes, well, okay, I'm happy you brought this up. So what I was saying is that you said, I don't want to get it wrong. She goes, well, it sounds like you did that already. And Sutton goes, okay, let me nip this in the bud right now. Y'all can talk about me behind my back all you want. I know my life, and I know what I've accomplished, and I know what I'm going to accomplish, and I know what you can't do in order to accomplish what I've accomplished and what I'm going to accomplish while I'm accomplishing things that need to be accomplished because I'm accomplishing them. And you better continue your little chatter while I take off, and y'all are way back there
You're way back there while I'm accomplishing things over there. That's what's going to happen because I'm moving forward at a very rapid speed. Accomplished. Speech accomplished.
Out of nowhere. Also, I have to admit, my friend committed a crime, which makes me an accomplice. So I am accomplishing while being an accomplice. Just gonna put that out there. And
Way to not sound drunk.
I also want to add, I will be going to a movie tomorrow, and I will not be paying for it because I'm on the comp list. So guess what? This accomplice is on the comp list because she accomplished so much.
Unlike people at Erika's show who are going to be a bunch of complishes.
Those people are paying full price, so they are comp less. But I am on the comp list. I'm a comp list.
Erika has some comp issues with her show, not being able to sell tickets.
Now, listen,
But you know what? That's in the future. So right now,
and you know, I will not be complacent because I've accomplished.
So everyone's just silent after this big weird speech, and Kyle is imitating her, and she's like,
If I had a drinking problem, I would not be able to say accomplished this many times. Not like that.
I have to really applaud this show that it went to a racial microaggression and then somehow managed to pivot out of that into drunken monologue. That was amazing. I don't know how I was like, I don't know how are we gonna get. I was like, there's still like 15 minutes left on the show. How are we gonna get out of this microaggression space? And here we have.
well, part of it, I think, is just that it's Dorit, and it's like, again. I mean, it's like the conversation has been had. Dorit has just never heard it. I mean, I think everyone else on the cast has heard it. I think the audience has heard it. Dorit has just never heard it. It's just bizarre, you know? So,
Okay, well, thank you for the yearly segment of Dorit being a completely privileged, kind of ignorant bigot. Okay, so let's get on to you saying that I put booze in my coffee. I'm going to make a speech with the word accomplished in it about 56 times. Okay.
Sutton, I apologize. That's your apology? Yes, I'm apologizing. Well, and Denise goes, well, I think it came off kind of judgmental. So then it's just like silent and awkward yet again. And Dorit, she just goes, oh, by the way, did you clear up that thing with Erika?
Dorit, who has
like,
now been just attacked. Like, she feels like she's just been attacked, you know? Like, I just got in trouble, and now fucking Denise, of all people, is gonna come for me? No way. I look like an idiot in front of these people. So she's like, oh, Denise, why don't you have a chat? You need to have a chat with Erika. And Erika's like,
No, we haven't, you pot stirrer.
so she tells us,
Oh, come on. You don't know I don't want to fight with Denise. But okay.
So Dorit's like, Denise, do you have anything to say? And Denise is like, do you, Dorit? She's like, well, no, I don't have an issue, but maybe you want to say something.
Denise, I think, doesn't really even know that she has an issue. She's like, what? What's going on? Hey, bring it down a notch, you. All right, bring it down. Not cool. I know what you're doing. I see you. All right. You're basically a 5G tower in a residential neighborhood. I know who you are, and I know that you're following my husband. So just stop it. Just stop.
It's just funny because the royalty-free music earlier, the Trixie Monocle music was, I believe one of the lyrics was, we're top notch, and Denise like, okay, bring it down a notch. Bring it down. You can't live in that space.
Maybe that's where Pam got her inspiration, you know?
You gotta pull lyrics from the content, you know? You gotta see what's in front of you, and you gotta make a music out of it.
So Dorit's like,
I haven't seen my husband in a week, and I'm going to go see him now because I was not warned how many tacos were going to be here. I would appreciate knowing next time how many tacos would be at Taco Tuesday. I'm going home.
She's like, let me just shove these two into a fight, and I'm gonna exit before I say something else that the internet's gonna kill me for.
Yes.
So then, so So Dorit leaves, and
And
Denise,
Denise
like, wow.
goes, she don't say bye to me. And Erica's like,
I'm putting a lip gloss. So look at me.
it's like, what is Erica's lip gloss stage business today? It's bizarre.
Well, you know, I wanted to have this conversation, even though I don't know what it's about, but I wanted to have it, okay? She's like, well, I do not want to have this conversation with you. I think you had your chance at a dinner party. You came in, you had an agenda, you called me a bitch, and I apologize to you. Sincerely, by the way. Remember when I said, for whatever the hell I've done, I'm sorry. And you know what? And you called me a fucking, what was it, Kyle, actually? A fucking bot monster?
And then we see Kyle
right.
tattletaling at the party, and she goes, she called you a dumb bot bitch. And Erica goes,
Dumb bot bitch. What does that mean?
I'm like, first of all, that makes total sense. Have you ever read reviews on your iTunes? I'm sure
Dumb bot.
that is not the first time. But Erica's like,
What does that even mean?
and Kyle's like, I don't know. So then we cut back to Denise, and she's like,
Wait, what?
"Dumb
How is
bot
Kyle
bitch."
worse? Kyle's sober, and she messed it up so much. She's worse at this than when she was drinking.
She's like, I never said that. And Kyle goes, yeah, you did at the bar, remember? And then we see a clip of what Denise really said. And she goes, I just want her to realize that she's a fucking dick cut in his asshole.
Kyle goes, yeah, I don't know how I got confused with that. I don't know how I confused. She goes, I don't know how I confused bot with cut fitness, and I've never heard of bot used that way. So it makes sense that she didn't say that. Oops, which was a genuinely funny Kyle moment.
So Erica's like,
Well, listen, here's what I'm saying, Denise. I just don't care. I don't care about it.
she says, you know, I love how you want to do this on your terms. She goes,
No, we're doing that on your terms. Because you're the one who wants to bring it up. So what are you upset about, Denise? Hey, Denise, want to see me put on some lip gloss? Hold on a second. I put on some lip gloss right now, brother.
Listen, first of all, to insinuate that my daughter, at 14 years old, would have had a threesome is beyond inappropriate. And to do it while you had a phone that had 5G, and Erica's like, listen, I'm shaking my head because that's not what this is about. Okay, you know, by the way, children these days, if they have a phone, they have access to everything. So of course they know. Which, by the way, Erica, maybe not the best defense right there. Just say, I shouldn't have said it in front of your kids. It's really simple. But she's like, yeah, the kids already know. Look who their parents are. So Denise is like, but this is about my kids, though. Okay. Well, your oldest daughter's on OnlyFans. She doesn't know.
oh, no. She goes, that is a low blow bringing up my kids' OnlyFans. Don't use the word blow when you're bringing up your kids' OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Choose better words when we're talking. So Erica's like,
Well, listen, you came in slurring, inarticulate. You couldn't string two words together, and you wanted to call me a bitch. And you want me to sit there and pretend that nothing happened? What do you think? I'm gonna go to not to go to OnlyFans? You think I'm not gonna go as slow as I can fucking go? Have you met me?
Here we are at the bottom.
Denise goes,
that was
"You're-
cold to just be like, your daughter's on
your daughters,
OnlyFans.
and I don't care."
Oh.
And Denise goes, you're a mean woman.
Yeah, because you asked for it.
It's like, whoa, Erica. She's just burn it all down.
And she goes, I didn't ask for it. She goes, yeah, you did.
Because you shouldn't have come in here acting like a bitch.
And she goes, you're acting like a bitch. She goes,
Oh, yeah? When? Like 4 years ago when nobody even remembers?
oh
You're-
my.
You're really fucking mean.
No,
aren't
no,
you,
I think
Erica?
it's great. I think it's great. It's more profitable. You with Sammy.
It's like, oof. Wow.
Wow.
I just, wow. I don't love the slut shaming, but I also
No.
kind of, Denise just never knows how to argue. She's just like, what? Wow. Like, why are you bringing up your kids? Why are you bringing up all of this? Erica's done so much more to you that you could be bringing up without bringing up your kids, because you know that you're putting your kids into evidence when you do that. You know what I mean? Like when you watch a law show and they're like, objection, like, but you were the one who just brought it into evidence. Like, oh, sustained. No, overruled. And
Thank
so
you,
they
you're
can bring it
welcome.
up. Like, Denise, you brought the kid into it, and now she can argue about your damn kid. And your kid is on OnlyFans. And Denise does a thing with her kid. They have like a package deal on OnlyFans, which obviously I haven't looked at. But her argument, I think, needs to be like, so what? You're gonna slut shame me? Really? How'd you get your show in Las Vegas? We all have the fucking internet. I can read gossip stories too. Erika, like who owns, go there. Don't be like, what? How dare you say OnlyFans? There's nothing, I don't think you should be shamed about it.
Well,
You know
it's
what I
a
mean?
to be continued, so we'll find out in the next one. But I mean, Erica definitely it was pretty gross and pretty nasty. But again, like I said, the silver lining is I did appreciate just like saying it, just putting it out there. It was not. I mean, it's sad that that's what she had to say, but as opposed to typical like the insinuations and what do you mean? What do you mean? What did you mean when you said that? What do you mean? Blah, 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 just like whatever. She's like Erika is definitely honing her villain craft. So we're gonna see what happens.
It wasn't the best message, but it was a super fun messenger. Okay. And sometimes that's okay. By the way, I was thinking the other day, like sometimes messengers deserve it. You know what I mean? They're like, messenger, don't shoot the messenger. I'm like, well, the messenger is the one who gave me the bad news. So I will. Thank you. But also just some advice for something that's already been filmed. You can't shame the shameless. And Erika knows that better than anybody because that's how she's been fighting this whole time. Like, you're not going to shame me. I don't give a fuck, Yeah. So I think that Denise doesn't have anything to be ashamed of, frankly. And I think she should be like, why are you shame? Now you're going to shame. Now you're going to, first of all, you were slut accusing my kid and now you're slut shaming my kid. Fuck you. And who are you? What hill is this? Okay. Lady.
Well, I'm sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see what Denise says. I don't know when it comes back.
I don't have a lot of faith. I have to say, I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah, I mean, Denise is not a great arguer, and Erika has actually become a very good arguer. So we'll see. But wow, that was quite the episode. I mean, this season has given us 2 pretty epic dinner parties. So I don't know.
It'll be back in 2 weeks. It's not going to be on next week. The only new show on Bravo next week is Miami. Everything else is movies and stuff like that. But the following week, everything is back. And we'll be back. But during next week, we have the 4-part Christmas recap of the Lifetime Christmas flick, Ladies of the 80s. We're doing that with Reality Gaze. And then we've got 2 more Ultimate Girls Trips recaps coming. So we've got a 6 recap week next week. So we'll still be here during the holidays. So join us for your present cleaning, your cookie whatevering, your, mother-in-law kicking outing, whatever. We'll be here.
Your New Year's preparations. We're going to be here all next week, so come join us. And we will catch you. We'll catch you then. Thanks, everyone. Oh, and of course, we have our Southern Charm and Miami episode coming up next on the feed. So thanks, everyone, for being here, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye. Bye.